story of yoga begins many, many thousands of years ago in a small hamlet in the mountains. In this hamlet lived Shiva and Parvati, a rishi couple who spent their time following spiritual disciplines and learning about their relationship with nature and the cosmos. One morning, after having completed their daily sadhana, Parvati posed the question to Shiva. We have been living in this idyllic place with our neighbors, where we have everything in abundance. There is nothing lacking in our lives. However, there is something I don't understand. I find that despite having everything we need in life, the minds of people are still filled with pain and suffering. What is the cause of this? In response to her question, Shiva expounded the knowledge of yoga. The first yoga that Shiva taught to Parvati was known as Pashupat Yoga, which became the foundation of the yogic culture and tradition. Many years later, in the Middle Period, the culture and tradition of yoga was lived and propagated by Patanjali, Gheranda, Swatmaram, and many others. During this period, the oral tradition of yoga was translated into texts and books to preserve the purity of yoga so future generations could benefit from this reservoir of knowledge. After the Middle Period, the original tenets of yoga continued to be maintained by yogis who lived in seclusion. Swami Vivekananda was one of the earliest messengers who traveled to the West and imparted the ancient philosophies of yoga.
Sisters and brothers of America.
As a result of this, yoga once again re-emerged and infiltrated mainstream society. In the 1930s, Swami Shivananda established the Divine Life Society in Rishikesh, and his disciples created a wave of yoga across the globe. The principle Swami Shivananda gave them was that yoga should integrate the faculties of head, heart, and hands. Their effort changed the perception of yoga around the world, and interest was generated throughout society. Yoga was no longer seen as a practice for renunciates.
What is yoga?
Yoga is a lifestyle. It may start as a practice and a sadhana, but it is in reality a lifestyle, a way of living. And for yoga to become a lifestyle, you have to consciously bring the yogic components into your daily routine and not think that yoga is only to be practiced in a class.
Historically, what has been the purpose of yoga?
When yoga originated, its purpose was neither self-realization nor body culture. Its purpose was the end of suffering, whether karmic, environmental, or self-generated, an attainment of peace and harmony.
In the present period, many people practice yoga for their own need and benefit, but very few follow the aspirations of yoga. As a result of this, yoga has remained limited to a practice. In 2013, Swami Niranjanananda gave the mandate to yoga aspirants to become serious, sincere, and committed in their effort towards experiencing yoga in the truest sense of the word, to move from yoga practice to yoga sadhana.
The light of yoga has gone everywhere. Now the next mandate for all of us is to live yoga with seriousness, with sincerity, and with commitment.
What does yoga sadhana achieve?
If you follow the aims of the yogic branches and aspire to experience them, your practice will become progressive, regulated, and beneficial. The idea of moving from practice to sadhana has to be clear, combined with sincerity, seriousness, and commitment. The moment you do this, the entire experience and dimension of yoga practice changes. You no longer learn the practice of yoga for merely physical benefit, but for improving the entire human personality.
What is the yogic understanding of the personality?
According to the yogic principles, the human personality is not only this body. There are 5 experiences within this body, from gross to subtle, which are contained in Annamaya Kosha, the sheath of dimension of material body, composed of matter, senses, blood, bones, muscles, nerves, etc. Within this physical body, there is Pranamaya Kosha, the pranic body, vitality, dynamism, strength. The third is Manomaya Kosha, the mental body, the mind, the mental expressions, the habits, the conditionings, the indoctrinations, the understanding. And the fourth is Vijnanamaya Kosha, the consciousness. And the fifth is Anandamaya Kosha, the spirit. Thus, body, energy, mind, consciousness, and spirit are the 5 aspects that makes one whole personality. It is these 5 koshas that you have to access in your yoga practice. And this movement indicates the development of the total human personality.
Does this translate to how the practices progress?
A yoga practitioner progresses in 3 stages. First, yoga is a physical practice. Then, it becomes a means of self-discovery. And third, it awakens the creative potential by accessing the deeper aspects of the personality.
Can we relate these stages to yogic practices?
The first aspect, the deepening physical awareness, the learning and practice that you do as physical exercise, can be related to Hatha Yoga. The second aspect of yoga experience, the deepening inner awareness, can be associated with Raja Yoga. The third experience of yoga can be associated with Kriya Yoga, which is the psychic and spiritual realm, Kundalini, chakras, and the inherent abilities that are presently dormant.
50 years ago, Swami Satyananda defined a sequence of progression in yoga, starting with Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Kriya Yoga, then moving to Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. In this sequence of practices, all the koshas are engaged, leading to harmony, peace, and creativity in life.
So there is a sequence of practices that we can follow.
Swami Satyananda said to start with Hatha Yoga, move to Raja Yoga, and then on to Kriya Yoga. And these 3 make up the Bahiranga Yoga, the external discipline. External yoga is that in which you take up specific practices and try to perfect them in order to attain harmony in body, prana, mind, and psyche, and experience the effulgence of the spirit. After the outer has been managed and attained, then the mind takes on a different understanding, and you begin to realize your pure nature in the realm of the spirit. The natural expression of that inner behavior is Antaranga Yoga, which comprises of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. And in this expression, all the koshas are harmonized.
Can we go over the 6 main branches of yoga once again?
The 6 branches are Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Kriya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga.
What is Hatha Yoga?
Hatha Yoga includes practices that harmonize the body and the pranas, that is the energy system. Classical Hatha Yoga has 5 limbs: Shatkarma, Asana, Pranayama, Mudra, and Bandha. So Hatha Yoga is Panchang Yoga, the yoga of 5 limbs. The purpose is to create a balance between the positive and negative poles of the body, the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems, the solar and lunar energies. However, of all the 5 limbs, only asana has become popular, and that has created a very limited understanding of yoga.
What is Raj Yoga?
Raja Yoga is the system of mind management, and it has 8 limbs: yama, niyama, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. So it is called Ashtanga Yoga. Raja Yoga begins with yama and niyam, but people do not practice these, thinking they relate only to ethics and morality, and instead they focus on asana and pranayam. But this is not correct. The yamas and niyamas create positivity in the mind, and they prepare the ground. It is only when the mind is filled with optimism, hope, happiness, contentment, and is expressing the best qualities that you move into the higher stages of meditation. In Raja Yoga, asana is different from that in the definition in Hatha Yoga. In Raja Yoga, asana is perceived as a state of steadyum and sukham, stability and comfort in a posture, which then allows one to move into the experience of pranic expansion and one-pointedness. Together, the purpose of all 8 limbs is to control the dissipations of mind and focus it within.
What is Kriya Yoga?
Kriya Yoga incorporates a set of practices that take one deep into the consciousness, into a realization of what consciousness is. And through this, the inner potential is explored, and there is a psychic awakening leading to the experience of bliss and fullness. Kriya Yoga is divided into 3 categories: Pratyahara Kriyas, Dharana Kriyas, and Dhyana Kriyas. You move through the various states of the mind, from Pratyahara to Dharana to Dhyana, and the end result is a unified awareness.
What is Karma Yoga?
Karma, or action, is the foundation and stay of life, whether action of thought, word or deed. The purpose of Karma Yoga, as defined in the Bhagavad Gita, is threefold. The first purpose of Karma Yoga is Atma Shuddhi, self-purification. Shri Krishna says, Yogina karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. Yogis perform karma with objectivity for self-purification. He relates Atma Shuddhi to an important idea, objectivity. Maintaining objectivity in relation to actions leads to self-awareness, harmony, inner balance and purification. Attainment of this leads to akarta bhav, the second purpose of Karma Yoga. Karta is the idea of doership. I am the doer, while akarta is not having the idea of doership. I am not the doer. The third purpose of Karma Yoga is Naishkarmya Siddhi, freedom from action, which is the attainment of Karma Yoga.
What is Bhakti Yoga?
Usually people think of Bhakti Yoga only in relation to kirtan, bhajan, worship, rituals and images of gods and goddesses. However, there are 9 stages of Bhakti which are divided into 2 categories, Para Bhakti and Apara Bhakti, the transcendental and the gross and non-transcendental. Para Bhakti becomes a tool of internal realization, and Apara Bhakti an external expression of faith and devotion. The first of the 9 stages is Shravan, listening and understanding the principles of nature and the divine. The second is the experience of joy through kirtan. Third is smaran, remembrance, indicating an inner connection. By going through the 9 stages of bhakti, you'll fill yourself with positivity and experience that in your behavior, thinking, interaction, and performance in life. This bhakti is association with the best side of yourself.
What is Jnana Yoga?
Jnana Yoga is not asking who am I and answering I am the eternal spirit. True Jnana Yoga is realizing how to apply wisdom and understanding to create a better you and a better world. Jnana Yoga has 7 stages of progress. It begins with Shubheksha, the right intention, the right understanding arising out of the correct awareness, creating a right desire and intention within to discover who you are. As you progress into the other stages, Vicharana, Tanumansa, Sattvapati, Asamsakti, Padartha Abhavana and Turyaga, the mind becomes more and more subtle, and your thoughts, actions and behavior are a reflection of the luminosity of your wisdom.
Can we say that all the yogas are linked?
They are indeed linked. And these links form what we call the Yoga Chakra, the wheel of yoga. And this wheel is the essence of the Bihar Yoga tradition. This wheel has 6 spokes. 3 spokes represent Bahirang Yoga, which comprises the 5 aspects of Hatha Yoga, the 8 aspects of Raj Yoga, and the 3 aspects of Kriya Yoga. The other 3 spokes of the wheel represent Antarang Yoga, with its 3 aspects of Karma Yoga, the 2 aspects of Bhakti Yoga, and the 7 aspects of Jnana Yoga.
The 2 yogas, Bahiranga and Antaranga, constitute the full wheel of yoga. To practice them and live them is the complete vision of yoga as seen by Swami Shivananda and Swami Satyananda.
With our sincerity, seriousness and commitment, we can live the vision of the seers. And we can make yoga into a practical, applicable global culture which will bring light, inspiration, peace and life to all sections of human society.